Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Victory in Business Mastermind call. I am Vanessa Raymond, and I am your confidence and success coach, author, and international speaker, and a chief systems leader. So excited to have you all here today. And as you know, our Victory and Success call is really more of an accountability call, but I like to bring you guys a little something every now and again that is all about creating more success in your business. So we are going to spend a few minutes on accountability. And then today, I really want to talk about content creation blocks. Hands up, whoever is sitting and going, what can I talk about today? How can I create something today? I don't know what to talk about today. Anybody ever have that problem?
You're the opposite.
You're the opposite. You have too much to talk about. You don't know what to pick. Well, that's a good problem to have. I like that. But I know for myself, we really need to, in order to keep our audience and our clients engaged, we need to share relevant content frequently and consistently. So I want to talk about a few things that we can do when we have those days where we're like, okay, I know I have to post something, or I need to write a blog, or I need to go live, and I have no idea what to do today. So I have some ideas for that today. But first things first, let's talk accountability. How is it going with your lead generation? How's everyone doing on inviting people to the conference? Dawn, what's happening with you?
I'm not getting anyone interested at all. I'm just getting blanks.
Do you have any idea?
Well, Suzanne and I talked about this. Was it last week?
Mm-hmm.
I think last week. I think I'm looking in the wrong places because I was going through my my LinkedIn contacts, and they just seem to be a dud. But I did actually get somebody that said, yeah, they wanted the 2 weeks worth of emails, which was fine. But apart from that, no, not really.
Okay. We can talk a little bit about why that is happening in just a minute. Hello, Kat. Welcome. We're just going through a little bit of accountability before I dig into some content here. Suzanne, how's it going for you, girl?
Well, good. I've, been building a list for a lot of years. But what I found is that my email list hasn't over time been as effective. So I have decided to take my names on my list and try to contact them on Messenger. And a lot of times the ones I get to respond are people who I have mutual friends with. So, I have someone helping me, which is nice, but if you pull them up on Messenger, they may have gone off of Facebook altogether. They're on Instagram, most likely. And so there is a way, I think, Vanessa, I talked to you about that, or somebody about, connecting on Instagram. And so that's another way to do it, but I feel like you'll get more responses if you have mutual friends rather than just a cold list.
Right.
And in some of the groups, what I'm noticing is we have a lot of people we don't know yet, from other groups. And so groups on Facebook, although it's a pain, it's really good sometimes.
Yeah. So, getting away from just sending out those group emails and really, really connecting with people on a one-on-one basis, which is kind of a little bit what we talked about last week when I was talking about deepening connections with our lists. And, it's at the point now where I know I'm definitely not opening as many emails as I used to. I delete. It's just that inbox is so full. And at some point, we're probably going to get there with Messenger too. But right now, texting and messaging, direct messaging, is definitely the best way to reach out to leads and get them engaged. Hi, Ernie. Can you hear me now? No, Ernie still can't hear. I don't know what's going on. He's having trouble. And now I know you're not local, and Kat, you're not local either. So have you been able to make any efforts in reaching out maybe to people who would like to join us for the conference? And do you have any ideas on, and actually, do you make an effort to reach out to people in Colorado, even though you're not local?
Well, you just made me think of putting out some kind of a post, to fit pros in Denver. Obviously, you don't want to inundate your feed with all these requests, and I've had my little trio of back to basics going on, so I didn't want to beat them with that. Plus the speaking engagement that I've got actually on the Sunday of the conference. But I will definitely get on that, and I'm thinking of entrapping my friend that's picking me up and giving me a ride to make her come with me. Do you know Stacey Lee Krause? Do you know Stacey Lee Krause? She's got a fantastic program, Willpower and Grace, and now cardio yoga. I'm going to see if I can drag her to the party at least. I mean, networking.
Again, and like Rob said, don't invite people to the conference. Tell them why it would be good for them to come. Explain to her why you come and why you think she should be there. And, so you don't have to drag her. How about you, Kat?
Am I unmuted? Yes.
Yes.
I have been reaching out to people. I've actually found that in the course of not being in contact with a lot of people through COVID, that people have moved. So I'm contacting people in Portland, in Austin, in all sorts of places. I have found that a lot of people have been working on their own programs, and it's been a little bit, most of the response that I've been is, that sounds interesting, I'm doing something that weekend, or stuff like that. So I think there's a little bit of a time crunch.
Well, and yeah, that's the challenge we run into when we get to a month before the conference, right? And that is why Robert is such a stickler on us actually marketing way in advance, because people's schedules get full, their weekends get booked, they have stuff going on. And so we really need to, oh, it's a fly. We really need to market, especially to people from out of town, way sooner. And so you will have an opportunity to do that now for February and for June.
Yeah, I've been mentioning that to those people.
Yeah, which is great. So it's great because when you reach out, they might not be ready for this one, but you can already engage them in February or in June, which is why we like to have things up and ready to go, registrations ready. You can already direct people to those conferences. So it's not a waste of your time, but also this close to the conference, we really, really want to talk about maybe reaching out to local people more, because they don't have to travel to be here. They don't have to get a hotel room. They can just hop in their car and show up. So
is there a California one coming on the cards or anything?
We're talking about it. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean,
it'd be a bit easier for us, right?
I know. And that's also why growing our network in California is so important, so that when we create that conference, we can fill it and we can make it happen. And it will happen. I mean, we've done North Carolina, we've done East Coast, we've done what was that? I think that we did one in Atlantic City many years ago. So we do want to, and we want to make California one conference a year that's out there. So we grow our following there. So it's definitely going to happen. So hang in, it'll be coming. Any leads at the moment that you have that I can help you with? Do you have anyone that you need me to reach out to, or anything? Is there anything I can do to help as far as that goes? So you can just look at your list. If there's ever that, I'm always here. And so is Rob and Suzanne. We're all here to help you with those leads that you're not sure what to do with them. Okay, we're here to help you with that. So with that said, thank you all very much for that. So I wanted to just share a few tips on when those content creation blocks come along, how can we make sure that we consistently keep in touch with our clients, with our followers? The way we keep them engaged is to always give them high level content. And one of the things that helped me is to always remember that content creation is an act of service, right? It's an act of really giving as much value as I can, as frequently and consistently as possible. And that is how we keep our members engaged. However, at the same token, I'm also of the opinion, and again, it's just my opinion, this is not based on any specific science or any specific numbers, but I really feel that there's a lot of content overload out there right now. So I have chosen to, on my group, post content once or twice a week. I do my Sunday post, I do my Monday motivation, and then I might do one other content post during the week. It's totally up to you. There's a lot of schools that are like, no, you got to post every day, or you got to post twice a day, or whatever it is. Me, I have found, as long as you're consistent, figure out a schedule that works for you. Okay, I think that is very important. And we can talk a bit about also you having so much content and what to pick and what that looks like. Anyone else here have the same problem as Anne? You have too much content and you don't know which to choose on what day, right? So I have five suggestions for you. When I sit down and I go, okay, wow, I got to post something, but what do I post today? One of the things you can do is actually ask your clients or your audience, what questions do they have at the moment? What are things that they really feel they need to know right now? Because chances are, if one of them have that request, there's probably more people out there that have the same question or request, right? So that is one good way to figure out some kind of content, is to actually just ask, say, hey, what is it you want from me today? What can I help you with, right? The second one is actually cool because this actually happened to me really recently. Look at the conversations you have been having with clients, strategy calls, whatever conversations you've been having, and what are the recurring themes and questions that are coming up in those conversations. Do all of you have very regular conversations with clients? Do you have regular calls scheduled? Maybe it's in a group that you have. Kat, I see you shaking your head. So one of the things we really want to work on, and I talked about this last week, is having those regular strategy calls scheduled, whether it's 1 a week or 3 a week or 10 a week, whatever goal you set for yourself. The way you're going to best sell your services, market yourself, is to get those one-on-one calls. Now, what I'm saying is, in those one-on-one calls, when you're asking your inquiring questions, listen to the themes that are coming up and questions that people are addressing. So what recently happened for me, and I'll let the cat out the bag because you guys are my in crowd. I've had 3 conversations where people were like, I really want to speak. I want to speak more, but I don't know where to find more speaking gigs. Or, I clamor up the moment, when I go and I apply for that speaking engagement and I get the form I have to fill out to apply, I freeze up. I don't know what to say on the form. I don't know how to talk about myself. I don't know how to promote myself. So what has this led to for me is that my next program is going to be called Speak Up. And I'm going to help people with these problems. How do you promote yourself as a speaker? How do you talk about yourself as a speaker? What should your bio look like as a speaker? And then how to show up on stage and have a greater presence. This has come directly from conversations I've had with clients. Okay, so when you have your conversations with prospective clients or with clients, what are the questions they're asking you when you're inquiring and seeing what they need from you, Okay, and that's a great way to create content, because sometimes we do have a lot to say, but it's not necessarily what our clients or our audience need or want to hear at that time, right? So we have to be relevant for our audience. The next thing, number 3, what is working for you right now in your business? You know, people listen to us and they come to us because they want to learn from us. We're always evolving and changing in our businesses, right? Are we evolving and changing in our businesses? You should be. Right. Glad to see. So when you're evolving and changing, you're implementing new things, and you are doing new things, and you're figuring out what's working for you and what isn't. Your followers want to learn from you. So by sharing what you are doing and changing in your business right now and why, it can help them in their business, because they can, you know, maybe find ways to implement the same strategies in their business, and in so doing, have better success by learning from what are you doing in your business. Okay, makes sense? And then number 4 is, what is a big learning or breakthrough that you have recently had? What light bulb have gone on for you recently? What inspired you, or what motivated you, or what happened? Maybe there was an occurrence, or you went through some kind of what's the word? Some kind of problem, and you've overcome it. Our audience love to hear that we are also just human, and that we have trials and tribulations and things that happen to us. Not everything is always coming up roses, right? So when you have those light bulb moments, what kind of breakthrough have you had recently? And how can they apply that in their business and in their life that might help them? Okay, and then the last one kind of is similar to number 3. It's, what changes are you making and why? So what changes are you making in your business or your sales process or your classes that you're teaching or your workshops that you're hosting? What's changing and why is it changing? Sometimes all our audience want to be is in the know. They want to know why or what or how. What is it we're doing? And when we can share with them how we are changing and evolving, it can also help them in their business to change and evolve in the same ways. Now, are there any questions about that? Or is there anything you want to add? Is there anything that you use as inspiration that I might not have mentioned here to create content for your listeners?
I can just
really.
share wee stories. You know,
Sharing
something that, like wee stories that have happened through the week. I'm just trying to see if it fits into any of those other ones.
Right.
Well, you've got what have I overcome lately? You know, well, what are the good things that have happened?
Right. Good and bad. Share it with your audience. They love that raw connection that they can create with you, because, hey, none of us are super woman or superman. We all have to go through stuff on a daily basis. And so sharing that. There was one other that I didn't mention, and I heard, I was listening to a podcast, and the podcast host was saying another way to create content is also to dispel myths. For instance, like, you know, I don't know, example. So I've heard so many trainers say, oh, you know, doing Russian twists are bad for your lower back, right? But if it's done correctly and it's, you know, like anything else, it's not. It can be very helpful and beneficial. So, or maybe there's a supplement you heard of, or whatever is the big thing going around right now on social media that people are bad mouthing, or they're they're elevating it, and maybe you have a different opinion. As long as you are tactful, always share your opinion in a professional manner and make sure it's backed by some kind of proof, right? But it sometimes is great to dispel some myths for people if there's stuff going around and you have a different opinion. Sometimes just bringing a new perspective can give people a lot of insights. So sharing your perspectives on things that are maybe being discussed, that are maybe a little controversial. I tend to steer clear from being overly controversial, but if you have some insightful information for people on things that are being said, then that's also another way to create content. All right. Any questions before we close down today? Crickets.
I think also sharing articles or facts or something like that is also good, especially if it pertains to your audience, you know, for their own well-being, their health, their business, whatever it is that you serve.
Absolutely, Suzanne, and I'm glad you said as long as it pertains to your audience, because that is the important thing. We don't want to just put random stuff out to put stuff out. It has to be relevant. And also with that said, that's also a good opportunity to bring guests. And whether it is a Facebook Live or whether it is a blog you're writing or post you're writing, you might have a conversation with an influencer in the industry and you can quote them and promote them or just mention them. You know, let's help each other be visible in that way, as long as it's relevant too.
Very helpful. Thanks, Vanessa.
Oh, I'm glad if that's helpful. Yeah. And, you know, again, and what I was going to say, and I did say it, but is that having a lot of content is fabulous, but we always want to make sure that it is what our clients need at the time. And sometimes it's great to throw out stuff because we open their minds to new things, but we want to always be relevant and yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome if you have.
That's why I picked the broad brand changes the way you age, since basically there's so many things that come up that help that whether it's a supplement or whatever, that you can always segue that.
Right.
But my biggest challenge right now is to get my offer finished and clear so that I've got something to settle them to keep
Right.
them, because that's like the one thing right now, boom, that's roadblocking me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can do that. I mean, send it to me, girl. We'll get it. We'll get it finalized. You're so close.
I know, that's what's making it antsy.
Don't be antsy. Just finish it. And it doesn't have to be perfect,
Yeah.
right? I've changed my offer a million times.
Mhm.
Try and get it to where it needs to be. I mean, I just between us, well, I'm saying between us, this is being recorded, but I just spoke, and I told Suzanne about this. I just spoke to a gentleman in Zambia who wants to work with me, but he specifically wants to work on his speaking skills, and turns out my offer really doesn't focus on that. So before I sent my offer to him, I had to go and edit the whole thing and make it relevant, right? So it's going to happen. But if you have a framework to work with, if you have that one thing there, it's your blueprint, and you can just go in and change the verbiage, you're good to go. Okay. All right, lovelies. Well, girlies here. I don't know, poor Ernie had some sound issues, but I will reach out to him, and this call will be posted on my YouTube channel. So if you guys ever want to refer back to it for those content creation ideas, it'll be there for you. All right. So thank you very much. And from next week, I will put out a few posts, but this call will be at 1:15 p.m., not 1:30. All right. Thank you. Have a wonderful Monday. See you soon.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Vanessa.
Bye.
Bye.
you.